What's up guys, Simply Coco here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another speed build here in The Sims 4. I'm going to try to post this the day I am recording this. It is currently 7:13 p.m. so if I do post this tonight, it will not be up until sometime after 8. So if you are watching this on Monday, then I'm sorry this video is up so late, but it's okay. We'll make it through. If not, then I'll be posting this on Tuesday, obviously. But yeah, as you can tell from the title, we are building a grain silo home. So this is a family home that was built out of a grain silo. If you don't know what a grain silo is, I'll Google it real quick. But just from what I know, like if you've ever seen the movie The Good Dinosaur, it's a Disney Pixar movie where they have a silo that they keep their corn in, and then the spot comes and eats all of their corn from the silo. It's kind of like that. It's something that you keep your grains in, or something, like that. This hence why it's called a grain silo. I'm just kind of quickly pulling up what it actually is. So the Google definition of a silo is a structure for storing bulk materials. Silos are used in agriculture to store grain or fermented foods known as silage. I don't know what that is. Silos are commonly used for bulk storage of grain, coal, cement, carbon, wood chips, food products, and sawdust. So really, a silo can hold pretty much anything you want it to hold, but it does have to do with agriculture. So I was picturing that this was like, when I think of a silo, I think of it like on like a farm. I know like they're not like on farms, but I kind of get like farm vibes from silos. I mean, because you can grow grain and wheat and stuff like that on a farm, and it also does hold food products. I mentioned the movie The Good Dinosaur, and they were actually holding their corn in a silo, and they grew the corn right there on their property. So they had like a little corn farm. So that's what gave me the idea, and that's why we're building in the world of Brindleton Bay, because it's the kind of Brindleton Bay kind of has that farmy vibe. I know this world is really supposed to be like nautical themed, like oceanside and fishing and stuff like that, but I get really like I get farm vibes from Brindleton Bay as well. And if you know anything about the game in Brindleton Bay, then you know that. Actually, behind this lot, there's like a road, and then the like bridge that's on that road, there's like a structure over the bridge, and that structure looks like a barn house. But anyway, I just thought this was a good lot for it because I needed a pretty wide lot for this home. And I was going to build it. Well, this was the original lot I wanted it on, and then I got here and I didn't really like the lighting. It turned out I just wasn't looking at it I wasn't looking at all the lights. This is the afternoon lighting, but I was only cycling through like night and morning or something. I don't know. For some reason the lighting didn't look right at first. So I was going to build it in Evergreen Harbor, which would have been probably the next best place to build it, because in Evergreen Harbor they do have like those silo looking structures. I don't think they hold like grains or anything. I think it's more like water tanks. But then I came here and realized, no, I was just looking at the lighting wrong. So this is where I decided to build it. Originally, when you first, load up your game or load up a new save file, there is a park on this lot. It's like a dog park. So that is what is originally here. So I bulldozed that and built this. This was actually a really difficult build. I just kept losing inspiration. I liked what I was doing, but it was it's so different to anything that I've ever done. I just didn't really have like a form of reference as far as like what I wanted to do with this build. Speaking of reference, I am building directly from reference, so I'll pop that photo up on the screen now. I need to start remembering to say that at the beginning of videos so that I don't have to go back and remember to put in the screenshot, because that's why I always forget to put in the screenshot of my reference photo. But yeah, so I'm building directly from that reference image, and I found it on Pinterest, and it didn't come with any interior photos. So whenever I got to the interior, that's when my like motivation for this build really went down. I really enjoyed doing the exterior, and I thought it came out really nice and really, you know, cute. But when I got to the interior, not having a form of reference for the interior, that's just where I kind of got really lost. So much so that I eventually had to just go to Google and Google other, you know, Google the interiors of other silo homes just to kind of get an idea. And it still really didn't give me an idea. It just gave me more so of a color scheme to go for. So once we get to the interior, you'll see I go for this kind of industrial rustic style. And it's a lot of blacks and browns, dark blacks and dark browns. So I end up putting these Journey to Bat 2 kind of rocks around every single kind of flower plate, kind of like, what do you call it? Wherever I put landscaping, I end up putting those Journey to Bat 2 rocks all the way around. Flower bed, that's the word I was looking for. So sorry if you don't have Journey to Bat 2. The only Journey to Bat 2 things in this build are those rocks, but I did put like terrain paint underneath, so not having those rocks isn't a big deal. And then in the pavement in the backyard ends up being one of the Journey to Bat 2 pavements. But other than that, you should be pretty good to download this. I mean, I did use a plethora of packs. Let me know what kind of pack restricted builds you would like me to do. I don't do them very often. Sometimes when a new pack comes out, I'll do like a tiny house using that new pack, and I'll do like tiny living plus base game plus whatever the new pack is, but I haven't even done that in a while. So let me know what packs you guys have, and I'll come up with some limited pack builds for you. But as you can see, we are on to the interior. We are in the kitchen. So base game counters. So the upstairs to this part of the silo I actually knocked out, so it's just a really tall ceiling. I really wanted to put those mirrors, but there's a glitch in the game where if you look into the mirror, the walls that are reflecting in the mirror disappear. Or if there's if there's a window in the mirror's reflection, then that window disappears, and I just could not get over that because it was going to make for very hard screenshots. So I was just like, nah. But I really enjoyed the open shelving that I put, and I felt like that made the most sense anyway, because there's not very many like places for storage with those base game industrial counters. But so here's the dining room, pretty open floor plan. I didn't really feel the need to put it. I could have put a wall right there to separate it, and then maybe put an archway. And it actually probably doing that probably would have closed the space off more and not made everything look so spaced out. But I was kind of going for like a more modern feel, so I just went ahead and went for a more open floor plan. So this is the dining space. I'm not going to say dining room because it's not its own room, but here's the dining space. I'm putting these bowling night lights, but I do get rid of them eventually, just because having the tiny living hanging lights in the kitchen and then these lights here, it just kind of threw me when I went to look at it later on. So I do end up deleting those. That big sliding door from Eco Lifestyle leads to the backyard. But yeah, here we are in the living room. It's a pretty small living room considering how huge this house is. It's actually a very, very big house, and it took me a while to get the floor plan. It takes me a while to do all my floor plans, which is why I never include them in my speed builds. But this one took especially long because it was just a lot. It's just a big build, and there was a lot of opportunities to have a lot of rooms, but I didn't want to have to furnish that many rooms. So there's only for this house to be this big, there's only 3 bedrooms. So I had to like give the parents kind of like their own big ass bedroom. So through that small archway right there that goes into a hallway which has a bathroom in it, that bathroom will have the laundry in it. You'll see me furnish that in a second. And there's also like an office space around the corner from that bathroom, and then also connected to that hallway is the parents' bedroom. But the living room, I'm almost done with it, but I used these Snowy Escape couches and kind of connected them to make kind of this like oval, not oval, but this like semicircle couch. I don't know if you would call that a sectional or not, because it's not the traditional like L-shaped sectional couch shape, but I don't know if all sectional couches are necessarily L-shaped. But yeah, I really enjoyed what I did there, and I just used different ottomans and chairs to create those pillows to kind of cover up the glitches. Yeah, but I really enjoyed that. It looks a little bit messy just because there are some glitches showing, and like the overlapping where like the woods overlap a little bit, but I do like it. There was really no other couch that I felt would have worked for this kind of like industrial rustic style. There is the one from base game that kind of matches the rest of the industrial looking stuff from base game, but every time I do a rustic or industrial build, I always use those couches. So I wanted to try something different, and the ones from Snowy Escape came in that black and dark wood tone, so that's why I went with those, and I really liked how well they kind of connected together. So the reason why I'm putting this kind of like laundry stuff, I mean, this console table or hallway table is actually from Laundry Day. But I'm putting it in the hallway because, like I said, right in that bathroom across from it is going to be where the laundry is. But the bathroom is only a 2x3 or a 2x4 bathroom, so there wasn't a lot of room in that bathroom to like put storage. So I figured they would need a place to put all their laundry stuff. And maybe like once a load has been cleaned, they'll sit it there, and the kids are meant to come and pick up, the clothes from there once they're done or whatever. Or the kids have a bathroom upstairs, so like when the towels are washed, they'll come and get the towels from there and take them up to their bathroom. But this is the parents' room, so I'll kind of get into storylines now because I do have a storyline for this family or this build, whatever you want to say. So the mom and dad, they both work from home. They were proper farmers. Like, I imagine they lived on a farm, and did the whole thing with the animals and all of that, but they kind of just wanted a change of pace. Maybe they weren't making a lot of money from that just because I don't know, maybe it's a dying business in The Sims, I don't know. But they just wanted something different. So I would imagine the dad, I don't know what all of that just was. I'm sorry, I cannot speak today. But I imagine the dad has some experience with like contracting. Maybe that's what he went to like school for, but then he kind of abandoned that and started a farm or something. So I imagine the dad like found this property that had like these old silos on it, and decided like, hey, how about we move to Brindleton Bay and renovate these silos? And that's what they did. So now the dad, so like I said, the mom and dad work from home. The dad is a woodworker, and he does that. And so the dad is a woodworker, and he sells the stuff that he makes from the woodworking table. In the garage, I also put a candle making station and a juice fizzer. So I imagine those three things are kind of what the dad does, and they probably go to like local farmers markets and stuff, and he'll sell everything he made. Obviously in The Sims they aren't called farmers markets, but you know what I mean. And then the mom is all about gardening, so she has a whole like garden section to herself in the backyard. There's a flower arranging station, so she sells that, and there's two like beekeeping things in the backyard as well that you'll see me place later. So the mom is kind of in charge of those things, of all the fruits and veggies and plants, and also flower arranging and making honey. So they make their own honey. So that's how this family makes their money. The dad has his stuff that he sells, and the mom has her stuff. And that's how they make all their money. I imagine they're pretty well off, especially since they had enough money to renovate, this silo into a home. But yeah, and then this is the first kids' room upstairs. This is, well, I say kids, but he's a teen. Yes, this is a, ooh, excuse me, I had to burp. It would not be a Simply Coco video without a burp and a voiceover. So yeah, deal with it. But yes, this is a bedroom for a male teen sim. I do imagine he is gay. He is of the homosexual variety like myself. But I'm gonna put a microphone. Oh, I'm sorry, I bopped my mic. I'm gonna put a microphone in this room. I just put it there. So I imagine he wants to be like a singer slash actor. So I put that movie poster in there, and that's probably like his favorite actress in his favorite movie, and he probably wants to be just like her. So I would say his main like aspiration is to be an actress or an actor, but he also really enjoys singing as well. And I did put the reason what well, I always knew that I wanted to make him a boy, but what made me think he was gay is I put fingernail polish on his bedside table. So I was like, maybe he likes to do his nails. Maybe he's gay. Not that you have to be gay. Not that a guy has to be gay to like doing his fingernails. That's just what kind of led me to the idea of him being gay. So that's kind of his storyline. And then this room is for his two little brothers. I don't really have a storyline for them as far as what they like to do, but they're different from their brother. They're really into Transformers, or the one over here is really into Transformers. The one with the elephant bed is really into reading, but obviously he'll play with Transformers and stuff too. And what's the Void Critters and stuff like that. But they're boys. I end up giving them a jungle gym out in the back, and then in the front they have a what is it called? A basketball net, a basketball goal. So this room is just extra. This, if you're looking at the floor plan, this is above the parents' room. At first, I was thinking this could be a guest suite, like it's like a whole guest suite where they have a bed and a living space and a small kitchen space and a bathroom. But then I was like, no, because I put these big windows here. So I was like, I wouldn't want the guests to have, all this good, pretty natural lighting. So I was like, let's just make this an entertaining space. So this is just an extra little living room, an extra little dining space where, they can have guests come and they can host parties in here. I imagine the kids, whenever they have friends over, since their bedrooms are so little and so oddly shaped, whenever they have friends come over, this is probably where they hang out. They'll probably move that coffee table and have sleepovers and stuff. And if we're just for storyline purposes, I would also say, like, if the family did have someone come and visit, that one of those couches probably pulls out into like a pull-out couch or a pull-out bed. So their guests would actually sleep in there, and they would have their own kitchen and bathroom and stuff. But yeah, this is the garage. So the truck is the dad's, the car is the SUV is the mom's. Later on, or when I start doing the outside, I thought about putting another car to say it was the teens, because I never give teens cars when I do builds. And also just to have something in front of the garage, but I felt like it didn't make sense because, I don't know, the teen would have to move his car in order to let one of them out, and yeah, but that's when I end up putting the basketball goal. But you just saw me. I already told you what I put in the garage, but that's where I put the woodworking station, the candle making thing, and the juice fizzer. I also put 2 bikes in there, so if you want someone to use them, just plop it in their inventory, and the rest is just clutter. And now I'm back in the kitchen, cluttering up the kitchen, because as we all know by now, or if you watch my speed builds, that the very last thing I do before I move on to like the backyard, or if a porch needs to be furnished or anything like that, the very last thing I do is clutter up the kitchen. It's just become something I do. I used to, and I've said this in several speed builds, but I used to go through the house and furnish every single room first, like just the base furniture, the base necessities. And then once I did that, I would go back and clutter every room. That way you kind of got two views of each room, or two different views of each room. Like you got to see each room twice. Sorry, I could not get that out. But I've kind of abandoned that completely. Now I just furnish the room completely, clutter and all, except for the kitchen. I do the kitchen's clutter last. I don't know why. It's just something I do now. Anyway, so we're back in the front yard. I just put two benches over there, and I put this coffee table. No, I put this picnic bench here, and then I was like, huh. I don't know what made me think of putting twinkly lights. Oh, it's because I was just going through the build and buy menu looking for something else to put over here, and I came across the twinkly lights, and I was like, let's put them. Why not? I also put a few in the back, but it was tricky putting them in the back, so I ended up cutting that footage out. Here we have just some loungers. I could have put 4 since this is a 4-sim family, but I imagine the 2 boys probably don't come out here and suntan very much. Put 2 couches, a grill. I feel like the whole grill space should have been like a whole outside kitchen just to make it that more bougie. But again, I was losing a lot of inspiration doing this build, so I was kind of just ready to be done with it. And like I said, I just finished this build like right before I started doing this voiceover, and I really wanted to get this build out tonight, so I was also just trying to be done with it. But this is the mom's corner. I gave her these, I think they're called hydroponic planters. They're the self-watering planters. So if you want more of a challenge to kind of take care of your own plants, if you download this build, you can just switch those out for like the base game big ones. I gave her some other planters back there just to use that space, and then I gave her some vertical planters right here just to use that space. And you did see me place the bee things, but other than that, guys, the screenshots are rolling. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will always respond to your comments, and please hit that notification bell. That way you know exactly when I post my next video, exactly when I post it, and I will see you all then. And don't forget to submit your nasty rundown builds to the gallery under the hashtag simply salvaged, and I just might renovate it in a future video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.